The making of Remember, the story behind the song, and my process. So my name is Olivia Ambani and I'm a singer-songwriter, and I was part of this project by K-Rob, where he got 13 amazing female artists and created an album called Royalty, and I was one of the artists who did the song called Remember. If you've listened to it, I hope you jammed to it and you enjoyed it. So I'm going to be talking about the process behind me being involved in it. Now, this started in 2023. About January, I got a message from JT Bulinda, and he is K-Rob's manager, and he told me about the project, and I was like, sure, I'd be interested in being involved. He then sent me like 3 tracks. I had to listen to them and pick the one that really connected with me. And then I started writing. And for those of you who know how I write, I love to freestyle. So with all the tracks that he sent me, I tried to freestyle to each one. And the one that really connected with me is the one that I picked. At the time, it was called VC Pishi. But then in the end, eventually it was called Remember. When I was writing to it, I was in this space thinking about love, thinking about how things could be or how things are in the beginning. And you're so excited, but then things happen and it doesn't quite end the way you hoped. And so I was reflecting on that in the song. So the writing process was pretty fun. I tend to freestyle, as I said, and then I have my phone. So my phone literally has a lot of rough drafts of all the songs. So that's where I kind of, song wrote and practiced what I wanted to have in the song. And then I was done. I was ready. I liked the arrangement. I liked the lyrics that I had, and I was ready to go to studio. Now, on the day that I was scheduled to go to studio and record with K-Rob, I had really unfortunate news. My auntie passed away on that day. And I remember I was supposed to go to studio, but then I got a call from my cousin and he was like, are you available to come to the hospital? And by this time, we didn't know anything had happened. We knew she was unwell. But honestly, I didn't think that was the news you were getting. I thought we were going to hospital to find out, what's the next way forward. When we went to hospital, we then were told that she was no longer with us. And it was really devastating. She was my mom's sister. I was raised by 6 women, my mom, her sisters, and my grandmother. And so it just felt like losing someone so close. And after that, it was, helping prepare for the funeral. We went all the way to Western. And honestly, in the process of preparing for the funeral, you just go, having to have people over, and just, it was a lot. And so once I was back, I kept trying to go to studio, and I thought, let me give myself a week or 2. And so I would reach out, or, K-Rob and JT were really lovely in this whole process to check up on me and just be like, is everything okay? How are you doing? Let us know when you feel ready to come. And I think there were 3 times when I was like, yeah, okay, I think today's the day, I'm ready. But then a day before or whenever, I just feel like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. But eventually, after I think it was 2 months after the funeral or so, I was able to then go to studio. And honestly, on that specific day, I had a lot of anxiety because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I hope something doesn't happen today. Because the last time I was to go, obviously, that's when I got the news about my auntie. And so I was very grateful when I went to the studio with K-Rob and JT, because this was the first time I was actually meeting them in person. And they were really lovely. The studio session went really well. I was able to record, and I feel like at that point I was able to just have a sigh of relief, just to breathe out, because I feel like I'd been holding my breath for weeks, after that. And so, we recorded Remember. I loved how the vocals came out. The next thing was to basically do a photo shoot. But for me, honestly, just being able to record after my auntie passed was a really big thing, because when you're in the process of grief, you really don't know how you're going to feel day to day. One day you think you're fine, the next day you're like, I can't take it. And so I was really grateful to just be able to go and be able to record that whole song and to like what I had recorded. And for me, honestly, I was not sure if I'd include this in the making of this song, because I was like, oh no, it's going to be too sad, or like, just, am I ready to even share that part of the journey of this song? But I really felt that it was important, because most of the times when maybe I share my content, you pretty much only hear a lot of the positive stuff. And sometimes you don't know, like, what did it take for this song to even come out? And I felt like it's important, specifically for this one, to just also honor the process, and also in a way to honor my auntie, that one of the things that actually helped me get to studio was the thing she used to always say: you've got to do what you got to do. And I would repeat that to myself, and I think that's what really helped me get myself to studio, and just continuous process of healing. And so, you know, after, as I said, we went to studio, a couple of weeks later, we went to a photo shoot for the song. And it was like the day before, was it on the day? So the song was coming out, let's say 3 weeks later, and there was going to be a party, like a release party, but I wasn't going to be in town. And so they decided to have, like, I think my photo shoot with K-Rob a bit earlier. So I went to the studio, had the photo shoot. It was really nice. We got to play the song. I got to jam to the song as well. I remember when you were mine. Oh, don't leave me now.
It's a rap.
Yes! I'm even shocked I remember all those lyrics.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no, short confession.
Yes!
Your one and only. Yeah, peace.
And it was just really nice to be in this element of happiness and joy. But on that day, if I'm not wrong, yes, on the day that I was having this photo shoot, I was actually flying out to go to Switzerland. And so there was a lot of like stuff back to back. It was either on the day or the day before, but there was a lot going on. Anyway, managed to have the photo shoot and then got ready to go for my trip to Switzerland. That's a vlog or a video for another day. I'm working on it. And so when I was in Switzerland, the song did come out, and I was like online trying to like look for updates or find network so that I could just see what was going on. And it was actually the first time I think that a song has been released and I'm not in a space to kind of fully, I guess, promote it the way I'm used to, because I was going different parts of Switzerland. Really loved my trip. But then I remember on the day, my cousin who I was with was like, is the song out? Is the song out? And so we kind of had our own mini celebration and played the song off Spotify. So it was really great. But here in Kenya, K-Rob and his team had a really nice release party, and it was super awesome. I got to see the pictures and have lots of FOMO. But yeah, the song came out, and honestly, it did so well. Like, for me, I had no expectation on the song. I was like, you know what? I was able to write it. I was able to record it. Cool. Like, for me, I've done my part, because it was really a journey to get there. And I was just happy to be on the project. And so when I saw the streams, because for me, it was probably it's been my highest streamed song. And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is great. And so I was just super grateful for the way the song performed. So thank you for everyone who streamed it, who's put it on playlists. You guys, thank you so much. It was such an affirming moment, and continues. Like, now 2024, I got a message from K-Rob saying, hey, I've been playing Remember, and I decided that I wanted to do a remix. So he decided to do a remix of Remember, and he did a more Afro house remix. And I was like, ooh, cool. And so he sent me a sample of what he had done, and it was awesome. Honestly, from the beginning, I was like, yes. This is a jam. I absolutely loved it. And I was like, wow. And I remember that before he sent me that, I was thinking about, I'd really like to have like an Afro house song or something like that. And so when he sent me that, it was perfect. I was like, oh my goodness, I would never have thought this is how this song would turn out with the remix, but amazing. So shout out to Kira for just the amazing like remix he did. And then after the remix, you know, it was, I think, January, February when he sent me the remix, and so I just gave feedback on some tweaks that I thought could happen to my vocal, and then we waited for the release, and the release was in, now I'm thinking like in April. It's in April, and so I couldn't wait. I was like, come on, I want this song to be out so that I can stop just replaying it on like my computer. I want it to be on Apple Music or Spotify where I can replay it over and over again. And so the week before the release, K-Rob got an opportunity to perform at A-Rosh's album launch. And so he was like, hey, are you free to come and we can, you know, kind of premiere the song and get people to hear it before it's out? And I was like, absolutely. So I got to perform the Remember House remix at that amazing event. And it was great. It was really, really great because it's the first time, no, not first. It's the second time I've performed like my electro house song with the producer. The first time was with Vidza. I did that at a DJ Mag event at Muse. Super awesome. But anyway, so I finally got to perform Remember, the house remix. The reception was really good. I love it when I see people singing the song and I'm like, yes, that means it's catchy and it's getting in people's minds. And then a few days later, like 3 days later, the song came out. And honestly, the reception has been amazing. And I'm super grateful for just the journey and what the song is going to do. Yeah, and so that's pretty much the process of how I wrote Remember and what was going on at the time. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have not listened to Remember the original or Remember the house remix, do check it out. It's actually now all packaged in one EP. Where you can listen to everything. You can listen to the original, you can listen to the instrumental for both the original and the remix. And that's, I guess, the journey and the process. And for me, honestly, I really wanted to share parts that I don't normally share because as an artist, sometimes when you hear other people's journey, you feel inspired. And so I hope for anyone who is going through a slightly challenging experience, that your arts could be a safe space for you, and that also it's okay to take time, be kind to yourself, and when it's time for the song to come out, it will. So enjoy Remember. You were bold from